Every night your dog curls beside you, not for warmth, not for rest. But once you're past 50, that simple act turns into something extraordinary. A silent connection that reaches beyond comfort, touching your health, your heart, and something far older than love itself. So let's dive in. Number 1. The choice. Here's what most people get wrong. Your dog doesn't sleep with you because they're clingy or cute. They sleep with you because you passed a test you didn't know you were taking. Dogs evaluate 3 things before choosing a sleep partner: safety, stability, and predictability. And after 50, you naturally offer all 3. Your energy is calmer, your routine is consistent, your stress levels are lower. To your dog, you're not just their owner anymore. You're their anchor. But here's the part nobody talks about. While your dog is choosing you, your body is responding to them. And that response isn't always healthy. But wait, before you celebrate being the chosen one, there's a price you're paying every single night. And science just revealed what it's costing you. The hidden cost. Studies from the Mayo Clinic found something disturbing. People over 50 who sleep with pets experience 23% more sleep disruptions than those who don't. Why? Because your dog moves an average of 20 to 40 times per night. Every shift, every stretch, every repositioning sends micro-alerts to your brain. You don't wake up fully, but your deep sleep gets fragmented. And deep sleep is where your body repairs itself, builds immunity, clears toxins from your brain. Miss enough of it, and your risk for cognitive decline, heart disease, and diabetes climbs silently. So that warm body beside you? It might be costing you more than you think. But here's where it gets even stranger. Your dog is doing something right before they fall asleep, and it's changing your biology in real time. The breathing signal. Watch what happens right before your dog falls asleep. That deep sigh, that slow exhale. That's not random. It's called settling breath. And it's your dog's way of syncing their nervous system with yours. They're literally matching your heart rate and breathing pattern to feel safe. But here's the twist. When they do this, your body responds too. Your cortisol drops. Your oxytocin rises. For a few minutes, you're both locked in a biological bond that's older than civilization itself. But if your dog is anxious, restless, or in pain, that sync doesn't happen. Instead, their stress transfers to you, and you won't even notice until your own sleep quality tanks. Now pay attention to this next part, because where your dog sleeps on the bed isn't random. It's actually a secret code about your relationship, the position code. Where your dog sleeps on the bed isn't random either. It's a map of your relationship. If they sleep pressed against your back, that's maximum trust. No escape route, no visual scanning, full surrender. If they sleep at your feet, that's protective positioning. They're guarding the exit while staying connected. And if they rest their head on your pillow or chest, that's intimacy. In wolf packs, only the most bonded members sleep head-to-head. Your dog isn't just resting. They're claiming emotional territory. But here's what researchers found. Dogs who sleep too close to their owners over 50 often show signs of separation anxiety. Because the bond gets so tight, they panic when you're not around. And that anxiety doesn't just hurt them, it disrupts your independence too. But if your dog suddenly changes their sleeping position and gets clingy overnight, don't ignore it, because what feels like love might actually be a warning sign. The warning shift. If your dog suddenly starts sleeping closer than usual, pressed tight against you, refusing to leave your side, don't assume it's love. It could be fear. Dogs instinctively move closer to their pack when they sense danger, pain, or internal distress. Vets call it proximity-seeking behavior, and it's often the first sign something's wrong. It could be joint pain, early illness, cognitive decline, or even something happening in your home they perceive as a threat. The closeness feels comforting, but it's actually a red flag. And if you're over 50 and notice this shift, don't wait. Because dogs rarely show pain outwardly until it's serious. Their clinginess is their cry for help. And here's something that'll blow your mind. While you're fast asleep, your dog isn't. They're doing something most owners never realize. The midnight watch. Here's something most owners never realize. When you fall asleep, your dog doesn't. Not completely. Studies using EEG monitors showed that dogs sleeping with their owners spend 30% less time in REM sleep than dogs sleeping alone. Why? Because part of their brain stays on guard, listening, watching, protecting. They're wired to be your sentinel, even when you don't need one. And while that loyalty is beautiful, it's exhausting for them. Older dogs especially need deep rest to manage pain, inflammation, and aging joints. But if they're sacrificing that rest to watch over you, they're aging faster than they should. So the question becomes, is your comfort worth their health? But before that guilt sets in, watch what your dog does in those final seconds before sleep. It's a moment so small, you've probably never noticed it. But it means everything. The ritual moment. Before your dog closes their eyes each night, they do one final thing. They look at you. It lasts 2, maybe 3 seconds. But in that glance, they're checking your breath, your posture, your energy. They're asking without words, are we safe? And when they finally settle, that's not just sleep. That's trust made physical. Because dogs don't rest when the lights go out. They rest when they feel your peace. And that moment, that tiny unspoken ritual, is how they tell you every single night, I'm here and I'll stay. But if you want that ritual to last as long as possible, you need to protect their rest the way they protect yours. Now let's talk about something you can actually feel but probably never connected to your dog, your body temperature. And it's sabotaging your sleep. The temperature trap. Here's a problem most people over 50 never consider. Your dog's body temperature runs hotter than yours, between 101 and 102.5 degrees Fahrenheit. And when they sleep pressed against you, they're raising your core temperature without you realizing it. Why does this matter? Because quality sleep requires your body temperature to drop. That's how your brain triggers melatonin and enters deep sleep. But if your dog is a living heater glued to your side, your body never fully cools down. The result? You wake up feeling unrested, even after 8 hours. Your joints feel stiffer. Your energy is lower. And over time, chronic elevated sleep temperature has been linked to inflammation, poor immune response, and faster cognitive aging. So that cozy warmth you love, it might be slowly undermining the very rest you need to stay sharp and healthy. But the temperature isn't the only thing your dog is transferring to you at night. They're also absorbing something invisible. And it's hurting them more than you know. The mirror effect. Dogs don't just share your bed. They mirror your mental state. If you go to bed stressed, anxious, or emotionally heavy, your dog absorbs it. Scientists call it emotional contagion, and it's backed by neuroscience. When you're tense, your dog's cortisol levels rise in sync with yours. When you're calm, theirs drop. But here's the dangerous part. If you're over 50 and dealing with chronic stress, illness, or grief, your dog is carrying that weight too. Night after night, and they have no way to process it. So they hold it in their body. Tight muscles, shallow breathing, restless sleep, and over months or years, that borrowed stress starts showing up as behavioral issues, digestive problems, or early aging. Your emotional state isn't just yours anymore, it's theirs. And the bed is where that transfer happens most intensely. Speaking of things transferring in bed, let's talk about what's floating in the air you're breathing for 8 hours straight. Because even if you're not allergic, your dog is changing your lungs. The allergy amplifier. Even if you're not allergic to dogs, sleeping with one changes your exposure level dramatically. Your dog brings in pollen, dust mites, outdoor mold, and microscopic debris from everything they touch during the day. And all of that ends up in your bed, on your pillow, in the air you breathe for 8 hours straight. Studies show that people over 50 have weaker respiratory defenses and slower immune recovery. So what used to be harmless, a little dog hair, a bit of dander, can now trigger chronic sinus issues, morning congestion, or low-grade inflammation. You don't even connect to your dog. And here's the kicker. That inflammation doesn't stay in your nose. It spreads systemically. It affects your joints, your energy, even your brain fog. You wake up feeling off, and you blame age. But the real culprit might be lying right next to you, shedding invisible irritants all night long. Now here's the psychological twist nobody warns you about. Every night your dog sleeps beside you, they're building something in their brain, and it's a trap you can't see until it's too late. The loyalty loop. Your dog doesn't just sleep with you out of love. They sleep with you because it reinforces their role. Every night they spend beside you strengthens a neurological loop in their brain that says, "This is my job. This is my purpose." And for most dogs, that's healthy. But for anxious or hyper-attached dogs, it becomes a trap. They can't relax unless they're with you. They can't sleep unless they're guarding you. And the more nights they spend in your bed, the tighter that loop gets. Veterinary behaviorists see this all the time in older dogs. They become so fused to their owner's routine that even a single night apart causes panic, pacing, whining, destructive behavior. And if you're over 50 and something happens, a hospital stay, a trip, a necessary separation, your dog doesn't just miss you. They unravel. Because their entire sense of safety was built around sleeping beside you. And you never meant to create that dependency, but the bed made it inevitable. But what's happening to your dog is nothing compared to what's happening to you. Because this next part, it's about losing yourself completely. The identity theft. This is the one that breaks people. Your dog isn't just sleeping with you. They're slowly erasing your independent identity. Psychologists call it enmeshment. And it happens more often than you think, especially in people over 50 who live alone or have lost a spouse. Your dog becomes your primary relationship, your emotional anchor, your reason to wake up. And sleeping together every night intensifies that bond to dangerous levels. You stop making plans that don't include them. You avoid trips, social events, even family gatherings because separating from your dog feels unbearable. And the bed is where this fusion becomes absolute. It's the one place where you're never alone, where their breathing becomes your breathing, where their presence defines your peace. But here's the cost. You're not two beings sharing space anymore. You've become one unit. And when that happens, you lose yourself, your autonomy, your ability to exist independently. And if your dog gets sick, or passes away, or even just needs to stay at the vet overnight, you don't just feel sad. You feel erased, because you built your entire identity around that nightly ritual. And without it, you don't know who you are anymore. The bed was supposed to bring you closer, but it made you disappear. Okay, this next one is gross, but if you care about your health, you need to hear it. Because your bed has turned into something you didn't sign up for. The parasite highway. This one's uncomfortable, but you need to hear it. Your bed has become a parasite highway, and your dog is the vehicle. Fleas, ticks, intestinal worms, mites, giardia, toxoplasma, even drug-resistant bacteria like MRSA. Your dog picks these up outside, grass, dirt, other animals, and carries them directly into your bed. And if you're over 50, your immune system isn't what it used to be. The CDC reports that zoonotic infections, diseases transmitted from animals to humans, are rising dramatically in older adults who sleep with pets. Why? Because 8 hours of close contact in a warm, enclosed environment is the perfect transmission zone. You're breathing the same air, your skin touches theirs. Microscopic eggs and larvae transfer from their fur to your sheets. And most of these parasites are invisible. You won't see them until symptoms appear. Digestive issues, skin rashes, unexplained fatigue. And by then, they've been living in your bed for weeks. Veterinarians see it constantly. The loving dog owner who can't figure out why they keep getting sick. And the answer is lying right next to them every night. Now, I need you to prepare yourself for this last one, because it's the truth every dog owner over 50 will eventually face. And it changes everything. The final goodbye. There's one truth most dog owners over 50 don't want to think about, but it's real, and it's coming. The day your dog stops sleeping with you won't be because they chose distance. It'll be because they can't make the jump anymore. Or the pain is too much. Or their body finally gave out. And when that day comes, the absence will hit you harder than you expect. Because it's not just losing a companion, it's losing a ritual that defined your nights for years. That warm weight beside you, that soft breathing, that unspoken promise, all of it gone. And you'll lie in that bed, in the same spot, but the space will feel infinite, cold, wrong. So while they're still here, while they still choose your bed every single night, don't take it for granted, because this isn't forever. It's borrowed time. And the greatest gift you can give them isn't just a place to sleep. It's making sure every night they spend with you is as peaceful, safe, and pain-free as the love they've given you. Because they won't be here forever. But the way you loved them, that lasts. So if you're over 50 and your dog sleeps with you, understand this. It's not just companionship. It's a biological bond, a nervous system sync, a ritual of trust that runs deeper than affection. But it comes with a cost. Disrupted sleep, hidden health risks, and silent stress you might not see until it's too late. That doesn't mean you have to stop. It means you have to be smarter. Keep the room dark. Keep it cool. Give them space when they need it. And watch for the signs they can't say out loud. Because the greatest love isn't always closeness. Sometimes it's knowing when to let them rest. And if this made you see bedtime differently, share this with another dog owner who deserves to know the truth. Because love isn't just staying close, it's staying aware.